Hey, what is up guys, Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Blue Archive video. Now, yesterday I made a reroll guide talking about how you want to reroll right now, and if you guys are interested to play Blue Archive, this would be a complimentary video of that because that video I sort of made it in the rush. The 100 free pulls is going away today, right? So as of me recording this video, depending on when you watch this, the 100 free pulls might already be over, but you can still reroll, and I think it's still going to be a good time to reroll because there's a new fast banner in the game. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about fast banner and what the heck is this all about. Now every year, Blue Archive has the festival banner or fast banner, where they will introduce a very strong meta character that will be able to push your account significantly. Alright, way stronger than most other characters. Now the fast character this time around is going to be Dress Hina, but alongside with that they are also going to rerun Swimsuit Hoshino. So both of these are the fast characters and you can only obtain them during the festival banner or the fast banner, right? Again, one more thing before I forget to mention, fast banner has double the rates. That means the usual rates are 3%, but in fast banner the rates are double, 6% chance to get the highest rarity, which are 3 stars in Blue Archive. So in this banner you can also get the previous fast banner characters. So hopefully I figured I want to make a tier list for you guys if you are looking to reroll, and this will be able to help you guys better understand Blue Archive a little bit, because I understand Blue Archive has a lot of characters, a lot of students, and it gets super overwhelming. You can see this tier list is something that I did last year. There's so many characters, right? How do you know who to get as a new player? It's just insane. So hopefully by making this tier list, alright, we will be able to clear things up straight out for new players that are coming into the game. Now again, this is not, I repeat, this is not how strong the characters are, or this is not like a Blue Archive character strength tier list. It's much more of a reroll tier list, and it's going to be something that's meant for new players rather than veteran players. So make sure you guys are aware of that. If you are a veteran player, this is not for you. This is not meant to be for like end game players, right? This is going to be for a new player who is going to be the best character to start out with. If you haven't watched the previous reroll video on how to reroll, the first 10 roll in Blue Archive is a selective reroll. You can basically choose 10 characters in that. And in this case, you can see we have a few characters here that I think are the top candidates that you should be able to pick from this particular one. Alright, so ideally, I would say Shun, let's talk about her, right? Shun is the best character in PvP. She's like pretty much the key character right there. So PvP, if you guys are not aware, in this game is quite crucial because you are put into your own bracket, and that will be able to boost your character significantly. Now what makes Shun extremely strong? This particular skill right here, obtain 3.8 skill cost when the battle begins. Now ideally in a PvP match this is very important, so if you got like almost 3.8k cost or even 4 cost more than your enemy, that means you can spam more skills than them. And PvP in this game is fully auto, you cannot control the skills, right? This is going to make you insanely OP, alright? If you pair her with a lot of other characters that can, you know, cost regen or reduce cost requirement, she is a very strong character. Which is why I do think that Shun is one of the best characters for any new players to get. She's the best, she's like the PvP queen, right? Everybody in PvP runs her. Alright, in a top rank, top 500 rank, you pretty much will see PvP all the time. Now next up we're going to talk about is Aru. Now Aru is a strong character. She is going to be one of the better 4 cost AoE, and she can also fit in like single target scenario. The problem with Aru is compared to Shun, she can be farmed. Alright, you can basically farm her in the stage later on. But I do think that for new players, if you obtain her early, she's going to give you the benefit as well. The only thing that I don't think she's going to be as necessary as a lot of other students, because there's a few other explosive type characters that you can obtain early on, like Muki, right? I do think that both of them can exist or be together in the same team and fill different roles. But if you're looking for a 4 cost AoE damage type, I would say Aru is going to be one of the better one. Another one is going to be Yori. Now Yori is a very strong character, still very strong until today. She's going to be a little bit easier to use. I personally prefer Yori because she is a 3 cost character compared to Aru, which is a 4 cost. She is a piercing type, which is a yellow character, and she does 3 shots that fires in multiple different enemies. Yori is very unique in the sense that she's an AoE and also a little bit of single target, where she can fit both conditions really well. I do think that she should be one of the priority if you can get her. I would basically put Yori and Shun like basically in the higher priority. She can be farmed as well, so it doesn't really matter that much. And last but not least is Hibiki, right? Hibiki is the only student right here that is a special type, alright? She is very strong, and if you obtain her, she's a 4-cost damage dealer as well. She has a massive, very, very huge AoE that I don't think you will go wrong if you go with her as well. One of the better characters as well to give a crit damage buff, ideally. So these 4 characters are going to be the best one in the selective. If you can get 2 out of 4 of these, that would be like good enough. I wouldn't like try to waste too much time. Now let's talk about the best reroll option outside of these 4 characters, right? So who would I recommend in terms of the fast characters in the fast banner? I strongly recommend Swimsuit Hoshino by far, more than Dressina. I do think that Dressina is strong, but I feel like for a lot of players, Swimsuit Hoshino is going to be the best character if you are new, alright? Because she is going to be much more flexible in a lot of situations. Now the thing with Dress Hina, or any of these other damage dealer that we see, alright, like Mika for example as well. So Dress Hina is pretty much a raid Mika, alright? Mika is one of the strongest character in the game, if you guys are not aware. Single target, alright? That's where she shines. She is going to be a very strong character. As you can see, 1540% of attack to one enemy. This is a lot, alright? And the higher the target's HP, the higher the damage. She is insane against bosses. Dress Hina is going to be the same as well. However, they both have their own element in which they shine, right? For example, Mika shines in if the boss is yellow. Dress Hina shines if the boss is red. The problem is, if you are a new player, building multiple DPS characters can be a little bit expensive, which is why I recommend something like a support, like Swimsuit Hoshino. She gives cost regen to everyone, and she can also boost everybody's, I believe there's an attack boost as well for explosive characters. Very, very good overall. Now the other 2 characters that I would highly recommend to get is going to be Akko and Himari. Now I've already talked a lot about this before. Akko and Himari is still going to be one of the staple characters for new players. They are going to be something that you use a lot in every single raid. Alright, so Akko is going to be a crit rate and crit damage buffer. And then we have Himari in this case. She is going to be your attack buffer. So ideally, in most cases, in Blue Archive, you can basically take advantage of this thing called the assistant setting or the borrow setting. So you can go to club or friends. Club is like a guild in this game. You can borrow their assistant. In all of the endgame content, you can basically borrow somebody's strong character, especially if they are a whale or whatever. And building supports is going to be way cheaper if you are starting out, if you are new. I strongly believe that's the best approach for a lot of new players starting today, because there's, number 1, there's so many characters. Number 2, none of these characters, even if you obtain them, right? So let's say you get Mika, let's say you get Dress Hina, and then you build Dress Hina and Mika. They are not weak, they are really strong, but if you build both of them, that means you're going to be putting resources into them. You're going to put your skill books, your gears, your equipments. And for new players, alright, if you're starting out, where a lot of new players struggle is going to be in the story. By story, I mean in the mission campaign, right? So this is where a lot of new players are going to struggle with. Alright, you want to push as far as you can in the campaign stages. And in these story stages, in most of these story stages, AoE characters are going to be much more preferred. You don't really want a single target character like Mika and Dress Hina. So even if you pull for them, you're not going to be able to benefit from them right now if you start today. Which is why I do think that for a lot of new players, Akko, Himari, and then Swimsuit Hoshino right here is going to be a better bet, because you have these 3 characters that are much more flexible and you can use in any raids. Therefore, you will be able to get them. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't pull for Dress Hina or you shouldn't try to get Mika. If you can get all of them, cool. But in terms of priority, I would say they are of lesser priority for now. For new players, these 3 is going to be the best one. Now, besides Swimsuit Hoshino and Dress Hina, these 2, who are the other festival characters? That's going to be Mika. That's going to be Swimsuit Hanako. That's going to be Wakamo. And yeah, these are the current ones that we have that are the festival character or in the festival banner. You can only obtain them pretty much once a year in this particular special banner. Wakamo, again, same issue. Very strong single target blue character. Mika is very strong single target yellow. Dress Hina is a very strong single target red. Now, Swimsuit Hanako is a little bit unique. She is a Sonic type. However, I feel like she basically fits in the same scenario where she is a purple type, right? Sonic type is like a new element that they add recently. I feel like she shouldn't be a top priority for a lot of players as well. She shines basically in Kurokage raids, which is the Sonic boss that we have. She's not the best in slot in most raids yet. For new players to build her can be a little bit risky as well. Now, she's good in story. I'm not saying that she's bad in story. However, if you are trying to build like a specific element right now, I think you should consider focusing in red, blue, and yellow so that you can also tackle those raids specifically. Let me give you guys an example, right? For example, Mutsuki. She's a free-to-play character. She's a 2-star. Everybody gets her. Now, Mutsuki, if you build her for the story, you can also use her in Kaiten bosses, which is a raid scenario. You can also use her in Gregorius, alright? Not the best, but she can be used there. You can also use her in Hieronymus as well. For a new player, she's actually going to be able to help you. Obviously, there's better option, but she's at least super flexible. Whereas for Shinsu Hanako, I believe her damage is not going to shine as much compared to a lot of other characters because we don't really have that many Sonic bosses right now. So that's going to be her biggest issue, that I feel like she should be in the same priority as all of this. Now, Iroha is going to suffer from the same issue as well. I think she's a really strong character, but I wouldn't put her in the same priority as these other three. So I feel like she's going to belong in this tier. Same goes for Ui. Ui is a very, very strong character, and she's someone that reduces cost by half. If you can try to obtain her and reroll for her, I think she should be one of the better ones. Now, what about this character right here? This is Cherino. She is a very, very strong character that I highly recommend a lot of players have. Until today, she's still surprisingly very, very good. And she's going to be one of the few reasons why I don't really recommend new players to get Makoto as much, right? Because she basically is a 5 cost, cheaper than the 6 cost Makoto AoE character. And also, she gives something called cost recovery. Again, very, very useful for a lot of players. If you don't want to use her for the EX, you can just slot her into any team just to get this cost recovery. She is very, very flexible. Alright, so same goes for the other character right here, which is going to be swimsuit Shiroko, right? Now again, these two characters are in the standard banner. Ui, Iroha, Cherino, and swimsuit Shiroko. All of these are in the standard banner. So I still want to try to recommend, just in case you get them, do look out for them. Swimsuit Shiroko is a character that I don't have, but everyone is literally using her in PvP. She is that good, right? She has this particular skill again, cost recovery, very, very good. And also, look at this. The basic skill can basically decrease EX skill cost by 1 for 1 use, once per battle. That means if you have her and the enemy don't have her, you get a little bit of an advantage in PvP. It's very, very good, right? So highly recommend if you can get swimsuit Shiroko. She will be able to plummet your entire team to the top, right? One of the few characters that are very, very meta right now. So I would say this is a pretty decent tier list for people to be able to refer to. As you can see, if you can get Iroha, Ui, Cherino, or even swimsuit Shiroko, these are all pretty decent characters for you to have a good head start in your account. Alright, these are very, very strong, notable characters that you can obtain. They are high rarity that you want to look out for, right? I'm not including any 2 stars or whatsoever because this is mostly just all of the 3 stars right here, right? I still think these 3 are the priority. It's going to be hard to get Akko and Himari together, but if you can get one of them and get a few of these other options right here, I think your account is going to be pretty decent as well. Now the selective, I wouldn't put too much trouble into rerolling a lot of times here because you are going through two layers of reroll, right? So make sure you guys don't spend too much time right there, right? And just focus on, I would say, Shinsu Hoshino, Akko, and Himari. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video, pretty much it. Hopefully you guys are aware of all of these characters that you want to look out for when you're rerolling. So make sure you guys refer back to this whenever you can. With that being said, that's gonna be it for this particular video. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.